Hey everybody, welcome back to Tech Odyssey. So today I'm here and I want to talk about the Pixel 6 and the Pixel 6 Pro, and did they blow their opportunity to succeed with all the issues that the phone has had since it's come out? They say that you only get an opportunity to make a first impression once, and in the smartphone world, your window of opportunity is very, very small. You have to make a big impression, you have to generate sales, and you have to generate buzz. And this phone from the get-go had a lot of hype leading up to the phone, just for there to be a lot of problems once the phone came out. And I know some of you are saying, I don't know what you're talking about, I haven't had problems. And then there's the other people who are sitting there using a Samsung phone right now, who are using an Apple phone right now, who had a Pixel 6, and they took it back because it had so many problems for them. And that's the issue here. There is a very finite window. Google had a small opportunity. And I said from the get-go, I thought they should have released it earlier, had Android 12 been ready, of course, but it wasn't. Very, very apparent. Android 12 had a lot of problems and still does. It gave Samsung some problems, it gave OnePlus big problems, and it gave Google problems. And now we're stuck here in this small period of time before the Samsung Galaxy S22s come out, talking about a Pixel 6. Already people have moved on and started talking about the S21 FE. People are saying, wait, hold on, we've got the S22 right around the corner. They had the holiday sales opportunity, and also, by and large, another missed opportunity was the lack of inventory. There were so many people that had to wait all the way up until January just to get their Pixel 6 Pro. So I say all this because I'm genuinely concerned about whether the Google Pixel 6 missed its opportunity to shine, gain some market share, and reestablish a connection with some people who either left Pixel or wanted to come over, because it comes around that time of year, especially during the holidays. November and December are the biggest sale times of the year. So timing, I guess, was okay in that regard for the Pixel 6. But when it shows up, it has problems. People are clamoring and complaining all sorts of about the fingerprint sensor, no facial recognition, then the software issues. You have to wonder how that impacts customer sentiment and people who believe in the device or don't believe in it. Because if you are worried about a phone being reliable, you're not going to buy it. And if you're hearing about these problems and these bugs whenever it comes out, you're also not going to buy it. And on the heels of this Pixel 6, like, they had a limited time window where they were the last phone that was announced. And there were still a lot of reviewers hanging on and using it or not using it because of the problems. And a lot of people were very vocal about the fact that it was taking so long to get the patch out and to get problems fixed, the connectivity issues, and the whole host of other problems that it had. So it makes me sit here and wonder, are people going to go out and buy a Pixel 6 now? Because we're fixing to have the S22. You know they're going to have deals. You know they're going to have incentives. They're going to have trade-in specials and all sorts of other things that are going to make it really attractive. And one thing that is also bolstering the S22 is the success of Android 12 with One UI 4. If you look at the Z Flip 3, you look at the Z Fold 3, you look at the S21 series phones, One UI 4 is running pretty stinking good, and by and large, most people receive the S21 very well. A lot of people have a lot of popular sentiment for it, and even looking at people like MKBHD calling it their phone of the year. So the S21 Ultra, very good phone. The S21 series phones across the board, I think, are good. And then you have the Pixel 6, which in most people's eyes, probably the only thing going for it is the price, because by and large, the Pixel 6 camera is good, but I think a lot of people think that it's not necessarily number one. Has Pixel been number one in the camera department in the past? Yeah. The Pixel 5, the Pixel 4, the Pixel 3, top-notch, basically the best camera you could get in a smartphone. And then you turn around and you look at now what you get, and is it even all that competitive in some ways? Because if you look at like the front-facing selfie camera on the Pixel 6, it's only capable of 1080p at 30 frames per second on recording. You look at the Samsung phones, they all do 4K at 60. You look at the iPhone, they all do 4K at 60. The Pixel 6 doesn't even do 4K on the front-facing selfie camera. So it's a very good phone. I like it. At $599, I think it's a good deal. I think that Google's going to have to get really aggressive with their pricing. I think they're going to have to take some more off the top. And that's not even talking about the big brother, the Pixel 6 Pro. It's a lot easier for me to recommend the Pixel 6 at $599, but then when you look at the Pixel 6 Pro at $899, there's going to be a lot of people that are going to be more interested in getting a Samsung Galaxy S22, an S22 Plus, or an Ultra, or maybe even picking up an iPhone as opposed to spending the $899. It's one thing when you go, okay, I can trade in something, I can probably get a Pixel 6 for a couple $100, even if you pay for it cash out of pocket, $599. that's pretty lucrative. I've talked about it, I've praised it, I've preached about the Pixel 6 because I like it, I believe in it. But Tech Odyssey only has about 77,000, 78,000 subscribers. My fan base is not that big. So there's only a limited amount of impact I can have on a market that, well, really kind of glosses over the Pixel phones. So mainstream media, mainstream tech reviewers, there's not really a whole lot of energy out there for the Pixel 6 phones anymore, and that's coming at a crucial time as the S22 is coming on board. And then you've got the OnePlus 10 Pro, that's already been announced, and it's already come out overseas. I can only imagine it's a matter of time before it ends up here in the States. So there was a short, brief period of time where the Pixel 6 didn't have a lot of competition. It was the last phone, the latest conversation starter, but the conversation turned sour quickly, with a lot of people kind of opting not to use one, waiting for the patch to come out because in some ways very unusable. Refresh rate issues, UI, user interface issues, connectivity issues, Wi-Fi issues. There's been a lot of little and big problems that have plagued this phone since it's come out, which largely are pretty well fixed now, but was it too late for the patch? I mean, shoot, if you know that the S22 is coming out, how's it going to take you 2 months to get a patch put out to fix your phone to where it's actually working like it was intended to the day that it was released? So I don't know. I don't have a lot of hope that the Pixel 6 is going to be breaking a bunch of sales records. Maybe the Pixel 6 will probably sell more than the Pixel 5 did, hopefully. But when you look at the Pixel 6 Pro, I think that's an even harder sell, especially whenever the inventory was very limited. And we don't even know, I don't think, how many were actually sold, much less how many were returned, because I've got a whole host of comments on tons of videos talking about people returning their Pixel 6 and their Pixel 6 Pro, saying it's too buggy, too many problems, not reliable, and then went and got something else. So even people who gave it a chance are now saying, I'm never gonna get a Pixel phone again. I gave it a shot, I wanted to try it, and it just didn't work out. And then you've got a contingent of people who really love the phone and it worked out well for them. I love the Pixel 6. I love the Pixel 6 Pro. I think they're fantastic, but that doesn't translate over to success in the market when people are looking for something. And the biggest lead that Pixel had for years was reliable software and security services. And they kind of shot themselves in the foot at their most critical, pivotal time in their device history. They put a lot of eggs in their basket. They did more marketing than ever. They redesigned it. They made it look unique. They put solid hardware in it. And then they fell flat on their face in the software department. So I don't know. I think they probably missed their opportunity to capitalize on a lot of market share turnover and probably lost some in some key markets and areas, because looking at the marketplace, there's no Blackberries. We're still waiting on this all-mobility device to materialize. LG is gone. Motorola, there's not a whole lot of a presence there. And then you look at Sony and a lot of other manufacturers, and OnePlus receding in the US market. This was prime time for Google to make a big move with the Pixel 6 and 6 Pro, and I feel like it probably fell short, and then they just shot themselves in the foot with the actual performance once the rubber met the road and the Pixel 6 needed to go out and do what it was supposed to do. So I love these devices. I still recommend them, and especially still recommend the Pixel 6. I've got another video I'm going to make talking specifically about the Pixel 6 Pro, because I think that's another special topic there, because I wholeheartedly recommend the Pixel 6, but there's not a lot of people that I actually recommend the Pixel 6 Pro for, because it's a very enthusiast-driven device, and I think most people that really wanted one probably got one already, and I'm curious to see what the sales actually turn out once we look at the numbers, once they get released, on how many Pixel 6s were sold and how many Pixel 6 Pros were sold. And I'm also curious how many 5As we got, and we know that the 6A is probably going to be looming around, waiting on the horizon, and the 6A may very well be, in fact, the best phone of the Pixel series to get this year, because hey, the 4A, the 5A, solid devices, solid selling devices. It's going to be cheaper, and you're probably going to get a lot of the same features. People may even be waiting for that now. So I think a lot of people at this point in time are taking a wait-and-see approach, and I can't say that I blame a lot of people. And a lot of that time period for capitalization on sales largely over, especially with the market right now, with inflation, with all the product and supply chain issues and availability. I think right now is a bad time, especially if you're sitting at Google wanting people to buy your phone. So I don't know. What do you think? Do you think that Google missed an opportunity? Do you think that this is blown out of proportion from a tech reviewer perspective, from a marketing perspective, from a just consumer perspective overall? Do you think it's a good phone that people are going to still want to go out and buy, especially now that we're sitting right here on the precipice of the S22 arriving? So I don't know. That's all I've got. Let's have some discussion. Head down to the comment section. We'll talk about it. And as always, if you enjoyed the video, please hit the like and the subscribe button and the little notification bell if you want updates when new videos come out. And as always, thanks for being here. I appreciate you watching, and I'll see you guys next time.